All right, folks, welcome back to part 2 of solving this tension vector question. So in part 1, we left off and we were trying to solve this system of equations here. And one way that we can do that is by setting up a matrix. So I'm going to use some technology tools to help me do that. The first one that I'm going to use is Google Sheets. Now, here in this Google Sheet, I've set up my two angles. The first one was 37 degrees, and the second one was 145 degrees. Now, I am required to change these into radians because in Google Sheets, when you do the cosine function and the sine function, it only accepts input values that are in radians. So I went ahead and I took my degree value and multiplied it by pi over 180 in order to change these into radians. And so I'm going to do cosine of this value, and that gives me the cosine value, and then I'm going to do the sine value of that angle as well. And then I'm just going to copy these formulas over here to get the cosine value of 145 degrees and the sine value of 145 degrees. And if you're a little bit skeptical, you can also use a calculator. I just thought this would be easier for me to copy and paste, but let's go to Desmos, and here I've illustrated that cosine of 37, and we are in degrees, is equal to 0.798635551, and that is the same value here. So it does match up. Now where we're going to go is we are going to go to desmos.com/matrix, and if you go there, you will end up here. So what we're going to do now is we are going to click on New Matrix, and I want my matrix to have 2 rows and 3 columns. And these entries I'm going to fill in with the values that we found here, because those correspond to these values: cosine of 37 degrees, cosine of 145 degrees, etc. So basically I'm going to put in this entry, and then 0 in the first row, and then sine of 37 degrees, sine of 145 degrees, and 500. Now you might be asking, why don't I just put sine or cosine of 37 degrees, and this particular calculator does not support the cosine function. So that's why I need to enter in these values. So I'm just going to copy and paste that there. I'm going to paste that one there. I want the last one to be 0, since that's what my equation had. And then if you'll notice back here, the second equation was equal to 500. So I'm going to set this value equal to 500. Okay, now that I've filled in my matrix, I'm going to hit enter here. And the next thing that I want to do in order for us to get our solutions is I'm going to push this button that says RREF. That stands for Reduced Row Echelon Form, and I want to do that for the matrix we just made. So I'm going to type in A, and then if you'd like, you can close the parentheses and then press enter. And this matrix now gives us the solutions to our equation. This being a 1 says that our first variable A, which was also the magnitude of the tension 1 vector, is 430, and the magnitude of the tension 2 vector is 419.868. So that is what allows me to present my solution to you now. We have the A value, which again is the magnitude of the tension 1 vector, is equal to 430.654 pounds, and the B, which we substitute in to mean the magnitude of the tension 2 vector, is equal to 419.868 pounds. And that concludes this homework question.